What's up, guys? We finally made it. We finally made it to the most important thing to have ever happened in a fairy tale episode. We don't have a recap. Yes, we made it to an episode that doesn't have a recap opening in the final season. Everybody take a moment, breathe it in, and let's begin. Now, before we get started, I do have a question because there's a moment in the episode. So you guys pointed out to me the song that I was asking about previously, and I was mixing up two songs. So thank you for pointing out the Road to Urza song. But this was the song I was actually curious about.
So
Yeah! So if you guys could let me know which song that is, that'd be great, because I thought that, because it's got a very similar kind of tone to it, I thought that was the song that I was referring to. It wasn't, but The Road to Urza is still an awesome song. But anyway, let's get started. So right out of the gate, we pick up where we left off after the no recaps. I just find it hilarious that I'm so fixated on the fact that there's no recaps, but it's something we've had for so long with this show that it's nice to see one that doesn't have a recap, but it's only 20 seconds. Whatever, I'll take new content over reused content any day. Anyway, they're on the Christina ship, and poor Wendy's motion sick. We have Urza and Jalal, who are being Urza and Jalal. And we have our mystery person from the last episode instructing them on what to do and helping Wendy cope with the fact that she's on a ship that actually will not affect her the way that most other ships do. That ship was made specifically with Dragon Slayers in mind so they can fly on it without it getting sick. And then it's revealed who this mystery woman is, and it's Anna. You know, Lucy's ancestor from 400 years ago. Okay. If you think that's confusing now, wait till we get more into the episode, because this has a lot of stuff going on that is very confusing. Let's start talking. So while Blue Pegasus is attacking Agnologia to no avail, we are getting a bunch of exposition from Anna, because Wendy actually recognizes Anna, which is funny because nobody else really remembered. Like, Natsu didn't remember until Wendy said something to him in his memories or whatever, so it's kind of weird the way that this is all working out, but whatever, I'll take it. And we actually have this really touching moment between Anna and Wendy as they kind of reunite after a very, very long amount of time of Wendy growing up, because Wendy was just a very small child at the time that they came forward into the future, so there's a lot that needs to be talked about and covered with Wendy, because she's kind of been left out of the loop as to plans and things that were actually supposed to be going on that apparently weren't shared properly, or were supposed to be shared but then didn't actually happen. You know, let's just get into why this is all messed up. So we learned that, as we had heard before, the Dragon Slayers came through the Eclipse Gate to the future, 400 years into the future. But we weren't made aware until now that Anna also came through to the future with them. Now, that's cool and all. I feel like it's sort of retconning, even though we only just learned about it, period, and now we're getting more information added to what we just learned. So I don't know if that's retconning or just kind of breaking up exposition on a story so much that it, at that point, just becomes like a 16-part story with filler in the middle. I don't know. Anyway, they come forward in time. We have this flashback to way back in the past. We see the Princess of Fiore. She's, or not Fiore, was it Fiore? I can't remember. The little Princess Emerald. We see her and a much younger version of her guardian knight watching the stars fly over, quote-unquote stars, fly over, which is the Dragon Slayers shooting out from the area where the Eclipse Gate was going to be. So I guess Dragon Slayers traveled through the Eclipse Gate differently than the dragons or than anybody else. But anyway, we have Anna interacting with Lucy's mom, which is kind of funny because they're all voiced by Shermie, who voices Lucy, which is just funny to see. Like, I always love when a voice actress or actor has to interact with themselves. But anyway, so we have that moment. Apparently the Dragon Slayers, when they came through the gate, just like blasted through the ceiling and spread out across the world and were separated all over the place. Now that I will call retconning, because we have sort of this long arc. I just smacked myself in the face. This long arc of these characters becoming who they are, and we don't find Wendy until early on in one of the seasons. We don't find Gajiel till later in another season. We don't find Sting and Rogue until the Grand Magic Games. good God. The only Dragon Slayer we've known from the beginning is Natsu, and so it's interesting to see how that has all sort of taken these long and broken apart interactions and introductions to characters and kind of mushed them together. It's kind of interesting to see that dynamic and see how they kind of retconned it in a way that makes sense, but still, retconning is retconning. I'm sorry. We get the retconning about how they all spread out across the world, and Anna didn't get shot across the world. She came out normally and was obviously missing the children, and she found them and let them be because they had discovered their own path and were doing their own thing, and she was waiting till in due time they could learn about their past and all that stuff. So sure, I mean, I guess that kind of works. As long as it all comes together pretty well, I won't be too upset about it. Either way, we learn all about that. We learn the fact that the reason why everybody in Lucy's family knew what to do and why in Lucy's generation the gate was opened when Lucy was still a child was because of the fact that Anna wrote this book and passed it down generation through generation, so that way in the year 777 she could come through. And she discovered that, of course, with Lucy's mom, she willingly shortened her life for Anna's plan. Anna was very upset by that, especially considering that this entire interaction between the two of them when they are interacting in this episode is, thank you for fulfilling this plan. Go live a happy life. Go be with your daughter. Go be with your family. Live a happy life. And of course, that didn't happen. I mean, the whole initial plan that she has is rather tragic as a whole. I mean, the whole point of coming to the future to find a way to defeat Agnologia, bringing the Dragon Slayers with her, but losing the Dragon Slayers, like, all of that is actually really, really sad. And it's kind of like, I get it. I do get why she is as upset as she is, and I get where they're trying to go with the story. I'm curious about the payoff for the story is my only concern. I want a good payoff to this story, and they're building so many threads that I can almost guarantee that they're all going to, there's going to be a lot of them that are not tied off at the end of the story. But that is neither here nor there. That is something for later. So for now, let's get into the rest of the story. So before we get into Anna's plan to defeat Agnologia, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Lucy, Gray, Happy, Natsu, and our Dark Lord Zeref. So Lucy is very clearly distressed because at this point she has Natsu's life in her hands, but she doesn't want to believe that this book is all there is to Natsu. She is convinced, and rightly so, that Natsu is significantly more than just a book, just a bunch of paper in a book. And while it is kind of true, it is still very much so the case that he is from that book. And the only way I could think for them to kind of overcome that is because Lucy has the book, is it possible for her to change parts of the book or maybe write different elements of the book that would separate Natsu from that book? I don't know. And I guess that'll be up to however the story is resolved at the end of the day. But yeah, she is very shaken by the fact that Natsu is basically that book. And of course, Happy's fairly upset as well, as he should be. Natsu is his best friend and has been that way forever. And Gray makes a promise to Lucy that he's not going to talk about destroying the book anymore because, well, the book is kind of Natsu. So it'll be interesting to see how they, like I said earlier, how they overcome that, because I'm really interested to see how they'll overcome it, if they can overcome it at all. I don't think they're going to kill Natsu off, but I would be impressed if they did. That would take a lot of balls to kill off one of the main characters. Anyway, that's really all we get out of that, apart from the fact that they're wondering what's in the book. Gray even asks, have you cracked the book open yet? Or no, Happy asks if you've cracked the book open yet, and Gray just says, yeah, just crack it open, let's see what happens. And in the preview for next episode, it looks like a lot happens, actually. I guess we'll see exactly how that works. Like, text goes flying out of the book in the preview when she opens it, so I'm wondering if something's going to change where she's able to alter the text because it's magic text. That'd be interesting to see. I'm actually curious if they can do that. Can they separate Natsu from the book, or can they separate the book from Zeref, so that way Zeref is no longer the reason for that book? Or if Lucy writes in the book, does it then become Lucy's? So the only way for the Natsu to go away is if Lucy dies. That would actually be something. I don't know. I'll have to see. Anyway, my theories aside, now we get into the big fight, which is Natsu versus Zeref, and it's getting pretty intense. Natsu is going all out. Now, Zeref at this point, it seems, has completely dissociated himself from Natsu. He is just calling Natsu END. He's not even referring to him by his name anymore. Natsu has actually taken a flip approach to that, where Zeref used to call Natsu his brother. He was close to him. He would call him by his name. And Natsu didn't know who Zeref was. And even when he did know who he was treating him as an enemy. Now, Zeref is doing that. Zeref is treating Natsu as an enemy, treating him as END, treating him like a demon of the Book of Zeref, not treating him like a person, not treating him like his brother. Natsu, on the other hand, is now calling Zeref brother in a sort of, not demeaning way, but sort of a detached way of like, yes, you're my brother, unfortunately. So that'll be interesting to see how they are, like their interactions have changed, and they've changed in a way that actually shows their mental state in a way and shows how they've grown or reverted, in Zeref's case, as characters. But yeah, so that's basically a breakdown on Lucy, Happy, and Wendy's situation, Zeref and Natsu's situation, Anna's situation, and Wendy, Urza, and Jalal's situation. So now, plans. Let's talk plans. So we get 2 big plans this episode broken down for us, and those plans are what Zeref's plan is and what Anna's plan is to defeat Acnologia. So let's talk about the plan to defeat Acnologia first. So the idea essentially is by time traveling, Anna and the Dragon Slayers and all them created a rift in time where nothing exists. Everything is just nothing. And so her plan is to lure, which I'm curious to see how that's going to go considering Acnologia is smarter than I think they're giving him credit for. Their plan is to lure him towards the rift in time and trap him inside where he will just be nothing. He will cease to exist, which was explained very well by best man in the story. Oh, Ichiya. Anyway, enough of that. God, enough of that. Oh, I need to go take a shower now. But that was explained to us, and that's the plan. So whether that pays off or not, I guess we'll find out. Zeref's plan now. Zeref's plan seems to be to reset the world. No big deal, right? Yeah, let's just reset the world. I guess this is what he told Gray, and now he's explaining to Natsu. He needs Mavis's magic, and he needs the rift in time. And he's going to reset the world back to a time where he didn't have the curse, which works great for him, but now we don't know what the outcome of anybody else in the world will be. We don't know what the outcome of any of our main characters will be. We don't know the outcome of Fairy Tail, any of the supporting cast. We just know that Zeref wants to reset the world so that he, personally, selfish bastard, can go back in time or reset time to before he had the curse so that he can live a normal life, because he's given up on trying to make his own happy life. He is now fixated on just getting rid of the curse and reverting himself all the way back, which I don't know if that's going to work, because the curse of Anselm seems to be something attached to the person, not attached to the time. So I doubt that would work anyway, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But either way, we've got some major plans. Both of these plans are hopefully going to be paid off either next episode with Anna's plan, or maybe a few episodes from now with Zeref's plan. But we have a lot of setup with those plans. We have a lot to look forward to with the fighting between Natsu and Zeref, because right now Natsu is pinned back by Zeref's magic, which is a very similar looking magic to what August used with Guild Arts. So I don't know if maybe that was some of the magic being used by August, because he is a descendant of Zeref. But in general, we've got a lot looking forward, and we've got quite a lot explained to us that I never thought would be something that would get explained, but it was. And I'm happy with what got explained. I'm kind of confused with a few things, like the way that the Dragon Slayer magic thing and the traveling through time, that was kind of confusing. I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but it does, at the end of the day, feel so much like retconning, but I'm willing to accept it as long as it's done well. And this was done okay, so I will kind of accept it. Either way, guys, let me know what you all think about this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry we are a bit late. I was kind of bogged down with some other work on Tuesday, so Fire Force and this episode had to be all crushed into one day. So that was where a lot of the overlapping stuff got kind of mushed together. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out my last episode if you want to, right over there. That's about it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We are almost to 34,000. I really want to make it there. I hope you guys can help me with that. I want to actually keep going. I believe today or tomorrow we'll finally get rid of our community guideline strike, and then at the beginning of next month we will be getting rid of our final strike, and that will be our channel fully cleared. That's part of why I've been having such a hard time gaining subs, is because, well, I'm not promoted as much when I have a strike on my channel. Once that strike goes away, hopefully things will get promoted a little more, we'll be able to grow a little more, and we'll be able to, I'll be able to keep doing what I love, you guys can keep watching what you guys like. And apart from that, I'll leave a link to the description, or down in the description, to where you can watch this show legally. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure to be there, and have a good one.